In this presentation, we introduce Bandoneon 2.0, an interdisciplinary project that aims to develop and produce electronic bandoneons in Argentina. The bandoneon is a Velos-driven, free-reed airphone, originated in Germany around 1830. It evolved from the European accordions and concertinas of the time, but has a distinctive square-section bellows, closed by two keyboards on each side. The bandoneon is extremely expressive, gestural and nuanced, but also a very physically intensive instrument. The player gives their whole body to the performance, which makes it a true spectacle to watch. Following its initial success, several factories were established from the mid-19th to the early 20th centuries, which mass-produced and exported the instrument worldwide. In such context, the bandoneon arrived in Argentina and Uruguay, and it was adopted by local musicians from the urban lower classes, progressively becoming a symbol and an identitary feature of the Rio Platense tango and many other regional folk genres. However, after World War II, the mass production of bandoneons decreased dramatically, until it stopped a few years later. Since then, manufacturing has been reduced to the activity of a few luthiers around the world who can only produce a handful of units per year, usually with their own hands. As a result, most musicians nowadays acquire used instruments, many over 100 years old, with current prices ranging from $2,000 to $5,000 or more. This makes accessing the bandoneon extremely difficult for new generations who want to learn or even try it for the first time, especially under the vulnerable socioeconomic context of the region. Considering this situation, we created Bandoneon 2.0 in 2018 at Universidad Nacional de Quilmes, Argentina, as an interdisciplinary project with the founding objective to locally produce electronic bandoneons. It gathers professional musicians and scientists from fields such as physics, biology, engineering, industrial design, and music technology, all sharing an active passion for music, acoustics, and technology, and bringing their particular expertise to create a modern electronic representative of the bandoneon. We intend to create an instrument capable of transcending and modernizing aspects of the traditional bandoneon, expanding its musical and expressive possibilities, but at the same time, capable of behaving and sounding like the acoustic instrument when required. We believe that in order for this proposal to be accepted and adopted by the community, it is necessary to pursue an in-depth study and understanding of the physical and acoustical properties of the bandoneon, a subject that hasn't been explored yet. This way, we may not only learn about it and design a proper electronic instrument, but also make a relevant contribution to the academic field. In 2018, we developed Alpha, our first electronic bandoneon prototype. In simple terms, it was conceived as a USB MIDI controller with 71 keys in the same layout as a traditional acoustic bandoneon. It features a bellows with an air pressure sensor, which enables it to respond in real time to the dynamic expression of the performer. We have presented Alpha at several events since its creation, and it was performed live by professional musicians and even tested by attending public. Additionally, during the COVID lockdown of 2020, we carried out a virtual collaboration with several artists in which we covered the song Back Pocket by Wolfpack. For that occasion, we used Alpha, together with an acoustic bandoneon, to perform chords and arpeggios, and we explored the potential of customizing the note mappings on its keyboards in order to make it easier to play by using a mostly diatonic layout in the key of the song. After these experiences, we began to design our next prototype. But since these electronic instruments do not feature reeds or other acoustic elements, it is important to provide an interface that still feels familiar when in the hands of the performer. In order to do so, we consider it necessary to carry out a more comprehensive research of the sound and haptics of the bandoneon and how it correlates with phenomena such as airflow and pressure profiles, the characteristics of the reeds, the influence of key mechanics, and such. To this end, we have developed in our laboratory an integral measurement system, a device that can perform detailed measurements on different acoustical and physical parameters of the bandoneon. In general terms, it features a movable bellows with an array of different sensors and allows us to attach any bandoneon keyboard with its reeds to it in order to perform synchronous measurements of air pressure, sound, and air temperature, all while tracking the bellow's movement over time. We also created an application to record and display in real time both the audio and the data from the sensors. It runs on a Raspberry Pi 4 due to its small size and mostly silent operation. We are currently carrying out measurements of the pressure differentials and sound characteristics produced when playing a bandoneon at different notes and comparing this data with several test designs. This allows us not only to draw approximate equivalences and to improve our design for the next prototype, but also to create the first outlines of a synthesizer that can dynamically respond to the input from the performer. We expect this to help us reduce the physical and perceptual distance when playing our instruments, mimicking both the haptics and sound feedback of the acoustic bandoneon. We're currently working on our next prototype, which, among other things, will feature an amplification system, rechargeable batteries, and an embedded synthesizer that would make for a more independent and completely portable instrument. We hope that this will help us solidify our efforts and eventually begin the production phase. On the other hand, we will continue the acoustical and physical studies of the bandoneon, also carrying out perceptual experiments with musicians in order to validate and refine the emulation of different aspects of the instrument. The socio-economic context of our region is often difficult for this kind of venture, as imported products are rather very expensive or non-available. Thus, it is essential for us to resort to products from the local industry whenever possible, or even recycling different parts. However, finding further financial support is essential to better overcome these obstacles. In this regard, the academic approach of the project allowed us to obtain support in its earlier stages, something rather difficult in our country. Despite this, the idea of electronically reimagining such an important instrument for our local culture was met with great expectation at the presentations we've made so far. In a final word, we'd like the community to note that we're open for collaborations in exchange of ideas with any parties interested in our project. For more information about Bandoneon 2.0, please visit our website at www.bandoneon.ar. Thank you very much.